All right, good evening, folks. It's Bob and Mike, the Sports Nuts with Last Minute Betting. Brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company. You see this get 20% off of OddsJam? Well, let me tell you something, folks. That is for new customers. Any OddsJam subscription, you get 20% off the following codes: Bob20 or Mike20. Get there right now. And also, the Discord link is below, and Mike can tell you all about that.
Yeah, lots of free picks. You got lots of sports betting talk, sports betting education, positive EV, all that good stuff. Need to jump in there and join in on the fun, Bob.
I agree. And we are going to have a special guest tonight. I'm all excited because I didn't get to do a show with him before, so now I get to do a show with him, Daniel. Andre, singer. I have a tough time calling you Dre, man. Here, let's bring him in. I have a tough time calling you Dre, man. I'm just telling you right now. It's difficult.
How you guys doing? Good to be back.
Yes, good to have you. Thank you for being here.
Doing well. Great to have you back. You got to remember, Bob, Dre and I ran the show when you were gone one time, and we got to it, bro. We didn't
have any problems. Didn't need me.
No problems.
You didn't need me at all.
You didn't need.
Well, then I'll just leave. Why don't I just leave right now?
Well, then you don't get to experience having Andre on the show like you were wanting. So you'll have to stick around.
Dr. Dre, the tennis man. And he is here tonight, folks. We're going to talk about the Australian Open. And Dre, I've got your document here. I can pull it up, share my screen. I am very, very curious. What going into this, is this going to be a great Open or one of those ho-hum ones?
I think, honestly, it's going to be one of the more wide open tournaments we've seen in a while. Obviously, Federer retired back in September. Nadal has had a terrible start to the year. He played in a team competition thing earlier in the year, played 3 matches, lost all 3 of them. So he's not coming in with great form. And Novak Djokovic is still the clear favorite, but as you'll see in my sheet, I don't have a bet on him because there's just no value on him. So
okay, all right. So we're going to do that right now. I am going to share my screen and present your sheet, and I want you to talk about your sheet here and what you're doing with it. I'm going to actually blow it up a little bit.
Perfect.
So we've got Medvedev plus 700 on FanDuel, 1 unit.
Yeah, so for this analysis, I kind of wanted to do both handicapping and from a value perspective. So you'll see all the players that I picked here. I was able to get on a book with odds better than the Pinnacle line or the OddsJam Perfect line. So first player I took is Daniil Medvedev from Russia. You can get him for plus 700 on FanDuel. I put a unit on him. OddsJam Perfect line has him at about plus 519. For his analysis, he was last year's finalist. He lost to Rafael Nadal after being up 2-0, so he had chances but didn't quite get there. It's likely that he'll be on the opposite side of the draw. Novak Djokovic, who I mentioned is the favorite. Right. And so if Djokovic were to lose before the final, which is where their paths would cross, Medvedev would have a very clear path to the title. And if it does come to that point where they do meet in the final, Medvedev beat Djokovic to win the 2021 U.S. Open, so he has that experience of winning big and has the knowledge of Djokovic's game. So Daniil Medvedev is my first pick.
So let me ask you a question here. Djokovic, I saw, was minus 120. Is that the best odds out there?
Yeah, you're not going to be. I chose not to bet on Djokovic because there's just no value there, and he could, he's not invincible. He could, lose even before the second week.
Right.
So I just, and even I don't think I found any book that had a better line than Pinnacle, so I just kind of stayed away.
Okay, so Taylor Fritz is next up here at plus 3,700. So this kind of like golf. You can get some real value here, huh?
Yeah, so my second pick is Taylor Fritz from the United States. You can get him for 37 to 1 on FanDuel. Pinnacle line has him about halfway between 36 and 37 to 1. I put a quarter unit on him. So for his resume, he won the United Cup last week with Team USA. So for those of you who don't know, there's like a few like tune-up tournaments. They call it the Aussie Summer, like before the Australian Open starts. And one of them is an annual team competition where there's like individual matches that come together as a team result. So for his individual wins, he recorded wins over Alexander Zverev, who's been a staple in the top 10 for the past 5-ish years, Hubert Hurkacz, another staple in the top 10, and former Wimbledon finalist Matteo Berrettini. So he's had good results in recent weeks. In terms of last season, he won 3 titles, including in Indian Wells, California, where he beat Nadal in the final. And just for reference, Indian Wells is considered by many as the biggest tournament outside of the 4 majors. So he knows how to win big. He's had a big win over Nadal. And finally, he reached the quarterfinals of Wimbledon in 2022, and he nearly beat Nadal to reach the semifinals. It was a really tight 5-setter, and Nadal actually like tore his abdominal muscle during that match and still found a way to win. But it was I was really impressed by Fritz's play in that match. So he's my second pick.
All right, and number 3. Obviously, we're doing a top 3. Let's finish off the men's. Nori, we bet on him the other day, didn't we, Andre?
Yeah, I believe we did. So my third pick is Cam Norrie of Great Britain. You can get him for 70 to 1 on FanDuel. Pinnacle line has him at about 53 to 1. So really, really good value here. I put about an 8th unit on him. His resume, so he made the semifinals of Wimbledon in 2022, lost to eventual champion Djokovic. He was one of the people who beat Nadal at the United Cup just last week playing for Great Britain. He beat current world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz back in August, who actually just announced he's not playing in Melbourne due to injury, and he's also a former Indian Wells champion. So he knows how to win big.
Good resume there. All right, so we've got Medvedev, Fritz, and Norrie, his top 3. I'm going to stop sharing here real quick. And Mike, that was quite a bit of information there, wasn't it?
That was. Let's get to the comments here real quick. We got Stephen Batts. Happy Lucky Sevens Day, gentlemen. Yes, big over last night in that NHL game. Jordan, Andre, what's up, man? This is great, Andre, Stephen says. And crushing it, Andre, Jordan says. So got some people here complimenting Andre in his analysis and his process of coming about how he determines how he's going to find his picks. So great stuff for those of you watching. I highly recommend, taking the same approach Andre had with if you're tailing these, quarter of a unit, 1/8 of a unit on those. It's a good way to, if nothing happens the way you wanted it, you're not out bad, right? You're wagering small to win big. So love that approach.
Unfortunately, in tennis, you can't do like golf where you bet top 10s and top 20s and top 30s.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Well, actually, so they haven't posted the markets yet because the draws haven't come out, but there are bets that are like to make the quarterfinals, to make the semifinals.
Right.
So
okay.
I might do bets like that, but those markets aren't out yet because the draw hasn't come out. So
So when they do come out, do you do like some people do in golf where you bet the champion and then you bet them to make the quarters and you bet them to make the semis? And that way, if they don't become champion, you still win some money, right?
That's probably how I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Mike, Lucky Sevens that Stephen was talking about. I must present my screen and show you my Lucky Sevens.
Oh.
This is my OddsJam bet tracker profit.
That's
$7,777 and just surpassed 5,000 bets at 54%. What do you think of that, Dre? Is that not bad?
Yeah, that's awesome. It's today's a good day to place some bets with the quadruple sevens. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. All right, let's go to the women's side, and let's see. You got here. Plus, I want to hear how you pronounce these names, because you're better at it than I am. All right.
Yeah. So let's go to the women's singles now. So the first player I took is Anne Jabeur of Tunisia. You can get her for 13-1 on either FanDuel or DraftKings. I put 3/4 of a unit on her. Pinnacle's got her at about 12-1. For her analysis, she was the finalist at both Wimbledon and the U.S. Open in 2022. So the last two majors, she's made the final. So this feels like a big opportunity for her to make that next step. She's going to be the number 2 seed and will be on the opposite draw of world number 1 Iga Swiatek of Poland. And similar situation to Djokovic, where I didn't want to bet on Swiatek because she didn't have good value.
Right.
If she loses early, it's kind of a waste. And the women's tennis is just so like wide open. There's just upsets all the time. So anyway, and historically the draw tends to favor the number 2 seed with a smoother ride to the final than the 1 seed. So Anne Jabeur is my first pick for the women's side.
All right. So the next one, let me see if I got this right. Veronika Kudermetova.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
Yep. So Veronika Kudermetova of Russia is my second pick for the women's side. You can get her at 35-1 on DraftKings. I put a 1/4 unit on her. OddsJam Perfect Line has her at 33-1. She's kind of like an up-and-comer. She had good results last season, made 10 quarterfinals or better. She recently made her debut in the top 10 of the WTA rankings. She's currently ranked number 9 in the world. And so what that means is she's going to have her most favorable draw to date in a major, being a top 10 seed for the first time. Right. And in terms of recent results, she beat former U.S. Open champion Bianca Andreescu 4-love in Adelaide just last week. So again, when I was doing my analysis, I was trying to look at both long-term results and short-term results.
Very good. Very good. Next one, Marketa Vondrousova.
Yes. So my final pick for the women's side is going to be Marketa Vondrousova. You can get her at 55-1 on FanDuel. I put an 8th unit on her. OddsJam Perfect Line has her at 50-1, so pretty good value there. She's a former French Open finalist back in 2019. Stylistically, I think her game matches up well with both power hitters and defensive players. So she's, basically matches up well with like all around players. And she's unseeded. She's the only unseeded player I have on this list. But again, I talked about how women's tennis is so wide open that if she knocks out one seed in the round of 32 or the last 16, she could gain momentum and go all the way.
Very good. Very good. So let's review here. We've got Medvedev, Fritz, and Nori as your top 3 on the men's side, and Jabeur, Kudermetova, and Vondrousova as your top 3 in the women's side. Is that correct?
Yep. And again, once the other derivative markets come out, such as, making the quarterfinals, making the semifinals, I'm probably going to apply bets for those for the players that I took as outright winners as well.
Okay, cool. Then you should share them with everybody and tag us all, and we'll put them put them all over the internet. Andre,
you got to follow Andre on Twitter.
Yes. Absolutely. And you know what? You did a great job here, man. Very great analysis. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you very much.
That's great. I will see you on the morning show here in the near future and probably on this show. Great job. Andre Singer first for just a great job. Folks, at Dre_Singer1. Go follow him right now. All right, buddy. I will talk to you through email. We'll get together. All right.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, Andre. Thanks for coming on, buddy. And we'll do it again anytime. So we'll be in touch. And great job. I'm tailing, bro.
I think
some money. Let's make some money. Let's see.
Let's make some money.
He gets the cowbell.
Classic.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Peace, Andre. Jordan says, great job. Get me on with Andre so I can pick his brain.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
All right, Mike. That was a lot of fun. Good job by Andre. And now we get into what's happening tonight in the world of sports beyond tennis. I can guarantee you one thing. I don't think there's a live stream out there that's got a tennis guy, tennis better expert, you know?
I don't think so.
So what do you got going on? Anything NBA wise, NHL wise?
Bob, I'm going to go to the positive EV page if you want.
Sure.
Let's share the screen and let's jump on over there. Let's see what we got. A little rough night last night, unfortunately. Had a lot of last-minute bets I had out, and unfortunately, not too good last night. But that's all right. We'll bounce back here tonight, hopefully.
Steven followed him on Twitter.
What, Bob?
Steven followed you or Andre on Twitter, and it looks like Randall is snuck in here. Bet what you want on this play here. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Oh,
he's on Arkansas tonight, Mike.
Can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that.
All right, I'm going to bet $190 on that.
Go for it.
Bet what I want to win.
Yeah. Well, if you want to win more, then bet more, Bob.
Okay, I only want to win 100.
Pretty solid play here with Desmond Bain. It's under 4.5 player rebounds at plus 100. Bet Rivers and Barstool, same odds. You know, must have the same algorithm or odds company or something getting their odds, but kind of treated as one data point with Bet Rivers and Barstool. That's at plus 100. Now let's look at every other book and what they price this at. You got MGM at minus 120, PointsBet at minus 125. You got FanDuel at minus 128. Caesars pricing this under at minus 119. DraftKings minus 120 and minus 133 on Pinnacle. So very good value for this play, getting it at plus odds.
Randall just called me a lightweight, Mike.
You are a lightweight, Bob.
Well, that's a tough one. I'm guessing because they're home, I'm gonna bet this much. But Alabama's pretty tough too.
Yeah, a couple of good teams, but the way Arkansas ended that game against Missouri, pretty good. Malik Monk under 21.5 PRA plus 100. On Bet Rivers, same scenario here. You got a couple of books favoring this at minus 120 on the under. See what they price the over at. I like this play. I'm going to go with this one as well for a half. So those are a couple of plays that I'm going to get on, Bob. Anything else that I'm liking here tonight? Definitely. Yeah, I'll skip that one. Dylan Brooks under on his points. We'll scroll up, see if there's any. Yeah, here's a Harrison Barnes play under 23.5 PRA at minus 104, favored on most books. Pinnacle at minus 126. See these three books here, what they're pricing that at. Average odds minus 122. So getting it at minus 104 is very, very good. So we'll go a half on that as well. And Bobby, that's all I got. That is all I've got.
Okay. All right. And Randall says Creighton on Saturday, back up the truck.
Ooh, all right.
Okay, bud. Well, you know what? I'll go with you. But, in the back of my mind, I've been on that Creighton train before.
Didn't work out for you?
No. Sure. Randall took the money line on that Arkansas game. So not given the 1.5. Mike, would you give the -1.5 and it bumps it up to +100, or you just stick with the normal juice and the -110 and take them on the money line? What are you going to do?
Money line.
Okay. And Jordan says he'll follow Randall, but they just burned him the other day. Anything under 2.5, taking the money line. Okay. So anything under 2.5. All day, baby. Creighton all day. They better do it, man, because they burned my butt in the past. I may just stay away from them just for that reason, because I've had some bad luck with Creighton the past few years. I know it's a new year, but hey, that's just the way I am. One thing that we're going to do here is we are going to devote just a little bit of time to Underdog Fantasy. I talked to some people in the group on Underdog Fantasy on Facebook today, and I told them that I would commit a little bit of time, and here's how we're going to go about doing this, Mike. We're going to actually go to the NHL, and we're going to look for some player shots on goal in some of these games on Underdog Fantasy, because there are no positive EV plays right now for Underdog Fantasy. Yeah, I know, Randall, Saturday. I read that earlier. Yes, I got you. All right, let me share my screen. We're going to go ahead, and there's only 4 games in the NHL tonight. So let's take a look here at the Washington Capitals and Philadelphia Flyers, and let's go to the player shots on goal market.
Why don't you use the screen?
Because this is the way I'm doing it right now, okay? So here, let's take a look. TJ Oshie, either over or under 2. You know these are -137. And for the 3 or 5 picks, they are -122. Okay? And yes, you're absolutely right, Mike. I could do that, but I decided to go this route. I decided to go this route. I just want people to see that we have plays here over and over. And, unfortunately, there's none on the positive EV page right now, which is a little disappointing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull up screen and do what Mike told me to do. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right, let's go to the NHL.
That sounds great.
And let's go once again. Let's go the markets down to player shots on goal. Now, obviously, you know that you're going to see the same odds here all the way through. -137 for single picks and -122 from there on, okay? So we're looking just at Underdog here right now. Now, the only problem I have with this, Mike, is that it doesn't show the 3 pick and the 5 pick in there on the screen. I'm just saying. But folks, and those of you that are Underdog people, you can go to oddsjam.com and you can search for all kinds of Underdog picks, and it will help you build your 3 picks and 5 picks to make money. Because remember, with the 5 picks, it's 20 times whatever you bet. So if you bet $10, you win $200, So it's great. Go to oddsjam.com, folks. And for you new people, 20% off with OddsJam promo code Bob20 or Mike20. So welcome the Underdog people, Mike.
Well, okay, Bob.
Welcome, y'all. All right, that takes care of our show. You guys have a great day. You know what Randall said. Arkansas tonight, Creighton Saturday. TCU money line tonight? Oh, I don't know about that one. Also love now the Pitt one I like. And here we go. We got Jonathan Manson here. Anyone like Miami plus 13.5 versus the Bills? No. Do you, Mike?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay. All right. Hey, no problem, Jonathan. Thank you. You guys